And we want to bring in Democratic strategist Mitch Ceasar now, former board member for the Democratic National Committee. Mitch, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So the president's approval rating is low. He is not polling well in this moment. And now that the reelection campaign is officially announced, what does he need to do to build momentum?
I think he's probably going to copy the Ronald Reagan example. When Reagan ran for reelection, he was an older president. He showed he looked vigorous. They showed him on the farm as if he had an axe and he was going to chop wood or something. I think that you'll see Biden out on the campaign trail the most. But this is really a reflection also of the times we live in. You know, nobody's happy with institutions. Nobody's happy with anybody that's around. Everyone's a fresh face, but can't think of some realistically. I think this will pass. I think the poll kind of indicates that to some extent, that once Biden's a nominee, that Democrats will unify behind him very, very quickly.
It's an interesting perspective. Mitch, what is the 2023-2024 version of chopping wood? What does that look like?
Well, it's different than last time. Remember, though, where it is similar is it's historically interesting because you have an incumbent president in 2020 that was knocked off by a challenger. Now you have a different incumbent president that perhaps will or will not be knocked off by a challenger, and perhaps by an ex-president, although I kind of doubt it. We live in a world where the norms have changed. The new normal is the word here. We're a country divided. Everybody's more in the silos than ever before. I think it's just going to be a matter of that old, worn-out phrase, turnout, no matter who the nominees are.
You know, with the focus on Biden's age, let's pick up on what Blake was just talking about. Is there increased spotlight on Kamala Harris right now?
I think there is, but really, I think it's a misnomer. I think literally Republicans think she's vulnerable, and they're trying to shift the focus different ways to her. It's about the president. It's about who has the top job. I don't think it's about his age. People are unhappy, as the poll indicated, about his age, but yet most will support him if he's the nominee, regardless of age, because he brings something that we didn't experience during the Trump administration, was seemingly some sort of normalcy. He didn't seem extreme, President Biden. He doesn't seem dangerous, as was the case with President Trump, but just people are just tired.
Yeah, let's look at Speaker Kevin McCarthy's response to Biden's announcement. He said, quote, "I know President Biden might be focused on his own political future today, but he should be focused on the future of America. Biden should have announced he will finally come to the table and negotiate a responsible debt limit to increase, or rather debt limit increase to avoid the first default in our history." So Mitch, is this going to be one of the big issues of the campaign, or is it just the big issue in this moment?
I think you're right. I think it's really just this moment. And you take everything, no matter who they are, with a grain of salt. This is the speaker, the same guy who sent all the tapes to someone who's now no longer working at Fox News. You have to look at context with everything. I think this is all part of the Washington dance for negotiations. It'll be very interesting to see where it goes. He has a very thin majority, as you know, as speaker. He has to play it a certain way or he loses the moderates. And if he plays a different way, he loses kind of the very, very far right-wing, kooky group like Marjorie Taylor Greene, who I think President Biden actually mentioned by name today. And perhaps from the Democratic side, she will be a symbolism example of who the Republicans are.
Okay, Mitch Ceasar, appreciate the context and time. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.